Democratic Taiwan has kept a close eye on the situation in Ukraine because it is constantly threatened by a Chinese invasion, as it claims sovereignty over the island and vows to seize it one day, by force, if necessary. Since Tsai's election in 2016, China has increased pressure on Taiwan, which rejects China's position that the island is part of Chinese territory. Chinese threats have grown significantly in the last year, with warplanes regularly breaching Taiwan's air defense zone. Taiwan has complained of repeated such missions by Chinese aircraft, which have become a common occurrence over the past 2 years or so. Just few days ago, China sent 18 warplanes, including fighters and bombers, into Taiwan's air defense zone, prompting the island's air force to scramble jets in response to the second largest incursion so far this year. According to an AFP database, Taiwan recorded 969 such incursions last year, more than doubling the estimated 380 in 2020. When Russia invaded Ukraine in late February, many policymakers and commentators in the United States, Europe, and Asia warned that the conflict could spark a security crisis in the Taiwan Strait. Clearly, the Russian invasion of Ukraine has fueled concern over China's plans for Taiwan, which it has repeatedly threatened to invade. According to Japanese and American experts, the conflict has led Chinese leaders to hold two contradictory views based on what they have learned from the war. One is that a forcible annexation of Taiwan would be disastrous for China. And the other is that a military campaign to seize and control the island is still possible. Chinese leaders may now realize how hard it would be to forcibly occupy Taiwan, after seeing the dismal performance of the Russian military in Ukraine. The Ukraine crisis demonstrated that military superiority does not ensure victory. Because the horrifying images of atrocities committed by Russian troops have been captured by smartphones and news cameras and circulated around the world, transforming Russia into a global villain. If China risks a military campaign, moving thousands of tanks, artillery guns, armored vehicles, and rocket launchers, along with infantry, in the difficult terrain, Taiwan is sure that there will not be a smooth landing, as in Ukraine's case. Because the mountainous terrain makes Taiwan's defense strong, as there are 258 peaks, over 3,000 meters, in elevation, severely reducing the combat effectiveness and endurance of the landing forces. Furthermore, China will face opposition from Taiwanese people. They have vowed to fight for their country's sovereignty, as well as its democratic way of life. Also, it is possible that the US will be a major hurdle in China's plans to invade Taiwan, because, if the US fails this time, it will mean the end of its military might, which has already been shaken by the Afghanistan fiasco. China must have been shocked when Western countries overwhelmingly supported Ukraine. Russian moves to mass troops along Ukraine's border were closely monitored by satellites and revealed to the media, to which the Chinese military must have thoroughly investigated. So if China decides to invade Taiwan, it will need to deploy significantly more troops and warships in the Taiwan Strait. And such actions would be broadcast to the entire world, resulting in a global backlash. So this is a dire warning to China's military about its desire to take over Taiwan. Beijing has also been rudely awakened to the fact that launching a surprise attack on the island will be difficult. The Western response to the invasion of Ukraine and its impact on the global economy is affecting Xi Jinping's calculation. As a result, China would prefer not to take the risk of waging war with major military power by a surprise attack. However, most likely, its desire to invade Taiwan has not vanished. It is likely that its long-term plans for gaining control of Taiwan will be revised. The PLA is gaining experience in how to be more effective on the battlefield. And Russian mistakes offer some warnings for Beijing's plan. Beijing will take steps to make China less vulnerable to economic sanctions by the West. As a result, the US, Taiwan, and other like-minded allies and partners must closely monitor PLA activity and moves, and invest in their ability to deter and defeat a potentially more dangerous and lethal Chinese military.